Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Capricorn placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Capricorn, to get started with your reading, it's wanting to bring up the collective reading that I did a couple weeks ago. I'll link it above. Which was about the Venus retrograde in Aries, which we are currently in. And we are about to, this upcoming Sunday, or Saturday, I believe, March 15th, we're going to be entering into a Mercury retrograde in Aries. So I think the collective reading will be relevant to you, Capricorn, because I was getting sort of this energy for you of water, like ice melting or something like that, melting, and there's a lot of water coming through for you. So it could be in so many different ways. However, the water card, that may be the element that you're working with. Perhaps in terms of relationships, but also creativity. There may be sort of like water or flow coming through. That's how it's feeling. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm getting sort of this message about especially because it's Venus, right? So Venus rules over the houses of the second house, which is resources. Taurus energy is coming through very strongly for you. And also the seventh house, relationships, which is ruled by Libra. So you could be feeling that sort of like water or like the melting, like something turning to liquid, or there's more flow in a situation in regards to resources or relationships or both. And because it's almost like, especially because it's in Aries, it's almost like the fiery aspect of Aries is adding heat to a situation where perhaps it had become frozen, or perhaps stagnant doesn't feel like the right word. The metaphor of something being frozen is almost like, I feel like there's something for you, Capricorn, where it was like, some aspect of your life was almost put aside for safekeeping or for like future use, is how it's coming through. Like, it's like when you put something in the freezer, right? You're not going to use it for quite a bit of time. So in order to preserve it, you put it in the freezer. That's how it's coming through. So something of maybe perhaps your resources, or your resources in relationships, or certain kinds of relationships maybe, or even anything that's Venus related. So it could have to do with creativity or pleasure, or like romance in whatever way that means to you. Like, it's that kind of energy. Something Venus related had been put in the freezer for future use, is how it's coming through. But now this retrograde energy is almost like pulling that thing out of the freezer and defrosting it. That's how it's feeling to me, which is really interesting for you, Capricorn. So there may be sort of like an increased flow of watery energy within those houses, resources and relationships. Okay. Interesting, Capricorn. I feel like there's a lot of divine timing energy sort of coming through your reading today, like something's coming into alignment, which is very interesting. I know we, like in a lot of readings and things like that, we talk about alignment to something or to someone or that kind of thing, or within yourself. But I was recently just like getting a lot of information and downloads about what that really looks like in real life. Like, what is being aligned to someone really look like? So there may be that kind of energy happening as well, where maybe you're aligning to something or to someone, or you're aligning to some sort of like path or destiny or something like that. But the thing about alignment is that it requires adjustments as well. So It's very interesting, Capricorn. Okay, let's get started with your reading. I'm going to pull Starcodes Astro, and you have 3 that came out together. The South Node passed, Chiron heal, and Uranus change, which is very interesting. Okay, so something from the past is being healed. That's what's coming through. Something from the past is being healed, especially with that energy of the freezer, right? Like whatever that is to you, or however, like whatever situation that is for you, it may even be something like a past life, like something where it's like you don't even have a memory of it, or there's been a lot of past life energy coming through the last couple of readings. I feel like it's because of the retrogrades that we're in, and Aries for some reason is coming through very strongly for that as well. So you may want to watch the last Aries reading. You may also want to watch the last Taurus reading, because I'm getting Taurus very strongly for you, Capricorn, as being a very supportive energy. But something from the past is being healed. And this Uranus change energy is really interesting, because Uranus right now is in Taurus. It's coming through a supportive change. There's something changing in your life that is meant to help to support you, is how it's coming through, Capricorn. But I feel like there's also something where it's like something is healing in your life, whatever way that is, and it could be something that's like so the last Taurus reading was about like a past life soulmate or a past life energy. It doesn't have to be a person. A past life energy that was coming back around in order to like help relieve some sort of pressure or overwhelm or something like that. For you, Capricorn, it feels similar to that, but it's almost like it's helping you to heal something, but also perhaps create some sort of change that you've been needing. But in this one, it feels very supportive. Like it's like the energy for Taurus was coming through as like something from above coming in to lift up something. This one's almost coming from below. Like it's like to push you up in some way, or like to like, I don't know how else to describe that. It's feeling like from the bottom up. So it could be that you're working with like your first 3 chakras, like root, sacral, solar plexus. Yeah, because it feels like Taurus energy. Like it's almost like having like a really powerful force move you forward. That's how it's coming through. It could be tied to resources. Okay, there's so much coming in. How I would describe this energy is like, so it may not be like a past life soulmate for everyone, but I'm getting that very strongly just because it is feeling like it's tied to relationships, but it doesn't have to be. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to describe it like that for clarity and for ease. Where if it's like, say it's like a past life soulmate, for example, and you and this person created something in the past together, is how it's coming through. Whatever that is, it's like you had a shared creation in a past life maybe. And it's almost like there's something like that that's coming through as being like a healing, or like in this life, because maybe it is that you're going to create something with whoever this is, or whatever this is, if it's not a person. But it's like there was a divine timing aspect, because you and this person, or you and this other energy, or you in this situation, or whatever it is, had to come into alignment, right? Like I'm seeing in the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, the 2 of Wands is sort of 2 wands sort of going in the same direction like this, or like facing each other. That's how it's feeling. Or converging together. That's a better way of describing it. Where it's like, Yeah, you and another person had to sort of like come together in some way, or you and this other path or whatever it is, the this other energy, a situation had to move towards each other. So that's how it's coming through. And that required divine timing or perhaps adjustments. And there's a lot of change that happens when these two energies sort of meet or intersect. It's very interesting. I feel like Capricorn, you're not quite at that point yet. You're not quite at that point yet, but it's like that's the path you're going towards. It's like you have like this much left until you and this other intersect in whatever way. And again, the other doesn't have to be another person. It could be like a job opportunity. It could be a new home. I just heard for someone. Feels Venus related though, is how it's coming through. Or Mercury related. It could be some form of communication. But I do feel, especially with Mercury as well, it may also involve movement in some way, like short journeys, right? Like maybe you're having to, like, I don't know, like like it's almost like everyday things, like just like errands that you need to run, like very practical things where you have to move, you have to go to different places, you have to, you know, grocery shop or whatever, like that kind of thing. Like it almost feels like very mundane, but in a Mercury way, like where it's like you're moving a lot, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of interaction, very Gemini kind of energy. And there's something about that that's important for you. Okay. Capricorn. Capricorn. Elementals. Yeah. Marine life. Richness. There's that water. There's that watery energy. But this is looking like past life. Like, oh, wow. Okay. This card comes in with so much. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Today it doesn't feel like that though. It almost feels like there's something actually quite peaceful about this energy where it's I feel like you're seeing something something that perhaps in the past might have been very overwhelming, but now there's almost peace about it. That's how it's feeling, like acceptance. Or, I feel like there may be, like subconscious fears coming through, Capricorn, about whatever this is, like subconscious fears, a little bit of worry, maybe, but at the same time, acceptance of that. I feel like in the past, this may have been something that you really worried about, or you had a lot of concerns about it, or there was a lot of subconscious energies that felt kind of scary. That feels like past, though. I feel like there may have been, I don't know, this card comes through with overwhelm to me, like emotional overwhelm, or like stress. Like just having a lot to do. But there is an aspect here that's healing about that. And again, because the Taurus energy felt like something where it was reaching, sort of like it was like coming from above to pull someone out of something. The Capricorn energy feels like it's coming from below to lift up. It's coming from below is how it's coming through. I don't know what that means. It could be It could be an aspect of, I keep wanting to say subconscious, but so an aspect of yourself that is like the deepest part of you is how it's feeling. Like it's something that was like buried very deep. It could have to do with inner child healing as well. So just keeping that in mind, like something like, or a very, very deep or past life, like something that like is very, very, like, I don't know how I would describe it. It's like deep in the freezer. Like it's been in there for a while is how it's feeling. Like very, very deep in some way. Perhaps very ancient, Capricorn. There's something like that coming through. Like prehistoric is how it's feeling. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Home, Earth, and Saturn discipline. These are both Capricorn cards. The home Earth, because this is like the Queen of Pentacles, which of course is Capricorn, and then Saturn energy with the discipline and time. Very interesting. Okay, that's really lovely. And then you have completion West at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Okay. So there, it does feel like there's something of like, I don't know what to call it, past life energy, subconscious energy, something like very, very deep within, in whatever way, like something deep within your soul, maybe, or whatever word you want to put there, is sort of being, for lack of a better word, defrosted. It's been in the freezer for a while, and it's being defrosted for you, Capricorn, because it's time now to do something. Like, I feel like there's something here where it's like it's healing something, or it's completing perhaps a major cycle as well. It's time now. But I feel like, and because you have transformation pressure underneath that, and then change wind underneath that as well. This alignment process was not easy, is how it's coming through. Okay, because I'm almost getting something like there may have been a period of time. I feel like you're almost at the end of it though, Capricorn. There may have been a period of time that maybe you were going through a lot of change in order to align to a particular path, or some sort of like soul energy. You were aligning to a soul energy. So it could be a soulmate. It could be like a soul, like destined path, whatever that is. Like it's coming through with like 6 of Cups. Yeah, it's like the 6 of Cups. Very, very interesting. Okay. Capricorn. Anyways, what was I saying there? There may have been a period of time for you where a lot of adjustments needed to be made, or a lot of like changes were happening, or like you had to like, I don't know, align to something and how I'm using that is like maybe you had to like make a lot of changes in order to like move in a particular direction, or like because I'm now almost seeing like if you have like a large vehicle, right? Like if you're like those like big trucks or whatever, if that truck wants to turn, like it has to start like early. Like the turn happens like the wheels start moving in a particular direction long before the turn happens. That's how it's coming through. It's almost like you were in that process of like moving in a particular direction, but now is the time when it's going to turn. That's very interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's a change coming that you were maybe on some level subconsciously or unconsciously preparing for, or intuitively you were getting downloads or intuition that you should be moving in a particular way, or you should start slanting in a particular way because the turn is coming up. And you wouldn't have made the turn if you hadn't started early. That's how it's coming through. So I feel like that's what's coming through for you, Capricorn. It's like maybe the last, like, whatever, however the time works for you, that what I'm seeing here is that for a while, maybe you have been subconsciously or intuitively receiving guidance to move in a particular way, but maybe you didn't understand why, or like how it was relevant or why it was important. But it's like it's going to be made clear soon because the turn is coming up. That's how it's coming through, or the change, or whatever it is. And when that change happens, you will have already made all of the adjustments you needed to make in order to successfully complete the turn. That's how it's feeling. It's really interesting, because the word turn is being really highlighted for this reading. Like it's your turn, Capricorn. Like it's almost coming through like in like a board game, right? It's like it's your turn to make a move or whatever it is. That's how it's coming through. Okay. Really interesting. Getting so many downloads. Okay. Zebra. Yeah. Yeah. That's what this is. It's like you were getting guidance ahead of time. Because the ear perked is always what I see with this zebra, right? It's like getting guidance ahead of time to be like, Capricorn, maybe you should start moving this way, right? That's how it's coming through. But this card, this is a very Aquarius card to me. The zebra is described in this deck as a visionary. Very interesting. Okay, one second. Let me read the description. Maybe you are aligning to a particular vision that you have, or like a particular dream that you have, Capricorn. Yeah, eccentric, creative, and visionary. The most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well-cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality is not only a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared, their potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags. Yeah. An epic adventure. Sorry, it's Aquarius and Aquarius and Sagittarius energy together. That's how I see this card. But the third eye is lit up, right? And so there's a lot of inspiration as well. And fire. Fire in a way where it's like activating something or bringing something back to life. I don't know if that's you, Capricorn. This may actually be someone else, because it's almost looking to me like how I was saying there's something from below that's like coming up to push you in a particular direction. It's almost like the zebra. That's what this energy is. So it could be that this is another person this is sort of like a supportive energy here for you, Capricorn, where it's like this fire. It's like someone lit a fire under your ass, like that kind of thing, but in a way where it's like getting you to move in a particular direction or aligning you to something or inspiring you. So it is meant to be very supportive, But of course, there may be sort of fears that are coming up with that, which is totally normal and natural. I think that may be something that you're being asked to work through as well. Like if you have any fear or anxiety about whatever's coming up or whatever's happening or whatever this change is, like facing it and dealing with it, it's like, but it feels like a normal, healthy amount of caution is how it's coming through. The Phoenix, yeah, okay. The Phoenix. Because that's the root chakra. Again, it's like, it does feel like, so it could be related to root chakra related themes, like things like home, belonging, safety, your roots, family, culture, all of that is sort of included in root chakra. It could also be connected to your physical body as well. There may be sort of like fears or like, because the Phoenix in this deck talks about like burning up karma in a very particular and conscious way, right? It's about like releasing suffering is what this card represents. So this card is not always easy because it can be unpleasant, right? With the Phoenix and the fire, it's like burning something up so that it can be born again, which is really interesting because I'm going to read parts of the description. It says freedom from suffering and past karma, which of course is what's coming through here, but also reincarnation, like something being born again. Okay, it represents transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. Yeah. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up and up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. Yeah, okay. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Okay, so there's something of like maybe you're releasing past life energy or just something from the past. It doesn't have to be past life. It could just be the past in this lifetime. Something like where it's like you're releasing suffering, you're creating a change where it's like you don't have to hold on to all this like dead weight or whatever it is, and it's being burned up and then reincarnated. But there's something there about that word, like reincarnated, where it's like, just as an example, right? Like the soulmate, past life soulmate energy, where it's like, you have been reincarnated, right? In this life. And it's almost like this past energy has also been reincarnated. So there's like a new beginning in that way. But at the same time, it's completing something. Both of these images have brains in it, which is interesting because this completion energy is like, this is the, okay, that's so interesting. This is like the spiritual or energetic version of something. It's completing. This is like the physical manifestation of that coming in. So I feel like it's almost like this energy here is waiting for you or has been waiting for you. And it's like, it's almost like, because it comes through with the key, right? It's time. This is the final piece that you've been waiting for, is how it's coming through. Like, so it could be that there's something materializing in your physical that is like, you have been waiting a long time for this. You have been aligning to this for a long time. Energetically and spiritually, that aspect is coming to an end where it's like perhaps like a manifestation process or a practice or dedication to something spiritually or energetically that is now coming to fruition in some way in the physical realm, like Saturn, Capricorn energy. That's how it's feeling. I feel like when you reach this corner, or because it's almost like you can't see what's around the corner. That's how it's feeling. You can't see what's around the corner, or you can't see what's after the turn. Whatever that is, that's how it's feeling. I don't know. You have the B at the bottom of the deck. So again, that's an energy of work and cooperation. But again, Gemini is coming through very strongly for you. The last Gemini reading might have a message in there for you. Okay. I'm going to pull one card from the Energy Archaeology deck. I feel like whatever it is tied to abundance in some way. But it may also be in terms of like reaping rewards from something, from some sort of like trial or something where it's like you, with the Phoenix, it could be like you went through some sort of like period of suffering in some way. Okay. Card for Capricorn. Yeah. Transition. Axis vertebrae. Really interesting. Okay. Because there's that energy of like the brains again. It's almost like, so if this is another person that you're connecting to, again, doesn't have to be, but it's almost like you and this person like share a brain. That sounds weird how I'm saying that, but it's like you share like your minds are connected. Your minds are connected. That's how it's coming through. Or there's like a lot of like cooperation that happens when you put your heads together, right? Like when you think together. That's how it's coming through. Okay, I'm going to read what this says. Okay, so it is an air element, but it says when in balance, it's present and focused. When out of balance, anxiety, worry, scattered. So just keeping that in mind that there could be anxious energies that come through with this, especially in the mind space especially about moving too soon, or like having a lot to do, or like having a lot on your plate. So just keeping that in mind, try and ground that as much as possible and be present. Okay. Investing too much energy and clinging to the past, to the way things used to be, can cause the same energetic misalignment as too eagerly looking to the future. During times of transition, it is important to be present, to understand that you have the ability to hold reverence or grief for your past. At the same time, you hold excitement or trepidation for what is to come. You can be both and. This vertebra is meant to hold that energetic paradox with ease. Transition can be graceful. It can be full of ease. It can proceed as smoothly as the way you turn your head from side to side. Give yourself space to transition. Build your capacity for the flexibility that not knowing requires. When you have a sense of what is to come, but you have no physical evidence, allow yourself to be present with that. I'm going to read that sentence again. When you have a sense of what is to come, but you have no physical evidence, allow yourself to be present with that. I feel like Capricorn, there is something here where it's like you don't have evidence. That's how it's coming. Or this is something from, like, in the past, you didn't have evidence to support why you were moving in a particular direction. It's like, especially with the zebra, it's like you just had an intuitive knowing that this is how you had to move, or this is what you had to do, or however it is. Like, you had to start moving in a particular direction because when it was time to turn, you would be ready for it. That's how it's coming through. There's something like that coming through for you. The unknown, the in-between, the fertile void of the chrysalis is where you unbecome and become at the same time. Let go of the notion that times of transition have to be overwrought, difficult, or something to fear. There does not always have to be a breakdown before there's a breakthrough. Your bone body and energetic foundations support the building of new structures, even as old ones crumble, and you can be present in the beautiful chaos of the middle. Do not halt the progress of transition. You cannot stop the process midway through and expect to be pleased with what is before you. Reflect on the past and dream of your future, but remember that straight ahead is your home. Be present in the spaciousness. Yeah. Capricorn, you're in the midst of a very important transition. You're in the process of it. So give yourself space and time and presence to be able to make this transition with ease. It can be easy. That's what's coming through here. It can be very easy and smooth. But be present and give yourself space to do so. So, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.